Brady really, really uncomfortable in a situation. You know, normally if he throws an interception, you'll see him yell at the receiver and, you know, talk to the receiver like you need to be here, you need to be there. But you didn't see that last night because I think Tom Brady's a little unsure also of where the ball is supposed to go at times. You saw a guy that I think when you go back to when we played him in the Super Bowl, 2 years ago, our offense was better then than it is now. And here's a team that, you know, we did kind of deal with, I said last night, we kind of did what we wanted to do with them. I mean, and when I think about that Super Bowl, Bill Belichick shut down one of the high-powered offenses in the National Football League that you held us to 3 points. And here we are with Tom Brady with the Buccaneers. You know, they can't almost, I want to say get out their own way, but they have great players, especially receivers, but they're not getting the best out of their receivers. You see Tom Brady looking for Julian Edelman. He's not there. You see him looking for a young Rob Gronkowski. He's there, but he's not there. You see him looking for James White, you know, to catch the ball out of the backfield. You know, he's not there. So for me, I say you see Batman without Robin right now, and that's Tom Brady without Bill Belichick. And, you know, I think they really go hand in hand.
Skip, when we discussed it, when they actually did the follow-up on Edie's 1 points about the Super Bowl, the biggest difference is no Cooper Kupp. Remember, he tore his ACL. You see the difference that Cooper Kupp makes in a ball game like this? They had no answer. He ran the option route on the guy. The guy's like, he did that to me. But when you look at this, Ed, I watched last night. They did something really, really with Brady. Is that Brady was hard play action or everything with the quick. And I just tweeted, I said, at some point in time, you got to press somebody because Brady will prick you apart. If you just let the receivers go down there and turn around, he's too accurate. Well, Williams started pressing AB. Jalen Ramsey started pressing Mike Evans. And it says, we don't believe Godwin can beat us. So now let's go play football. And just that little bit of timing was enough to throw Tom Brady out. Tom was terrible last night. 0 for 6 with 2 interceptions on throws of 20 yards down the field. Last 4 games, he's 1 for 20 on throws 20 yards down the field with 3 interceptions. Skip, your guy. And ED, I don't know, did you see this? Let me show, I got a blooper reel I want to show you. Can you throw the ball forward twice, ED? Can you throw it forward, get it batted back, catch it, and throw it forward again? What is this, Skip?
I thought that was his best pass of the night.
Skip, hold on. You don't get, he must be thought he was Colorado, Missouri. You got a 5th down. Skip, what is this?
He completed that ball.
Skip, what is that?
That was goatish.
Skip, that's year 21. That's like a rookie quarterback lining up on the guard to take the snap. Skip, you can't do that. That's your GOAT. Is that your GOAT?
Yeah, that's why I said that was goatish. That was something. I've never seen a quarterback pull that off before.
Lowercase GOAT.
Get a pass slapped right back in his face, and he completes the ball.
And let that
you ever seen that?
And let that sink in.
Thank you for showing that.
Let that sink in. And had they not declined it, that's the only reason he got 216. He'd have been under 210 yards passing if it had not been for an illegal pass. Skip, Skip, can we just say, I'm going to turn it over to you. Can we just say Tom Brady wasn't good last night, Skip? It's not to diminish what he's already accomplished. We're talking about last night.
Tom Brady was outstanding in the first half of that football game. He was dealing.
Was the game
on fire. So back to Eric's first point. This was actually Batman without pass protection or a running game or even a semblance of a defense that could defend the pass. You're like naked out there. You're like, what am I supposed to do? Because without Ali Marpet is his best offensive lineman, and for the 3rd straight game, we talked about it yesterday, he's out in concussion protocol. So now they got the backup center playing, and they had to move the center to guard. And then in that last series, remember, the backup center got hurt. They're up against an Eric Dickerson Los Angeles Rams defense that just might be the best defense in pro football. They have allowed the least yards in pro football. I told Shannon yesterday, I predicted this. I first guessed it, Eric. I said that Tom Brady is up against it tonight. This is an awful matchup for him because obviously your guys can get there with 4. And in the 3rd quarter, they started bringing the heat on him in ways that Todd Bowles could never bring the heat on Jared Goff. He's Jared Goff it up. And they never touched him. They didn't hit him. They didn't sack him. They let him get incredibly comfortable. Do you realize that the Tampa defense, which is not a playoff defense, do you realize it let Jared Goff come within one completion of the all-time Monday night completion record? Do you understand? That's 39 completions. 40 is the all-time Monday night record. What's it go back to? 1970 Monday Night Football? So think about that. In the last two games at Tampa, what I call Tampa Bay, in primetime on a Sunday night and a Monday night, Drew Brees and Jared Goff combined to complete almost 80% of their passes. Well, you're up against it. So you're up against two really good defenses, obviously New Orleans and Los Angeles, and Tom Brady's just trying to do the best he can. I thought under the circumstances, I told you yesterday, this got to be a Ronald Jones game. Guess what? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers ran it 18 times last night and averaged 2.3 yards per rush.
Hold on.
Okay, well, you got no chance.
That's your house, though.
Okay.
That's your house. They came and do your. I mean, how you gonna let somebody come eat up all your food and have no repercussions?
Okay, so I'm telling you, Brady actually went 7 of 14 on third down, which is pretty great. He actually went 3 of 3 in the red zone, which is pretty great. He actually put up great numbers in the first half. He had one drive that was just sensational. And you say he's playing terrible?
Skip. At one point, he had 129 yards.
Yeah, but he had 45 yards in the first half on pass interference penalties. Those don't count in the yardage.
No, they don't.
Well, wait, I got to show my man Eric one tape here because this is to go ahead 14-7. If we could see what happened mid-second quarter, can we see these throws by Tom Brady? That's 3rd and 6 to Cameron Brate. The next one's 3rd and 9 to Cameron Brate. This is just a rocket to the boundary. Thank you. And then how about another 3rd and 8? Tell me this isn't a fastball. That's the little Scotty Miller, and it's pass interference on your man Fuller, the rookie. And then here we go to finish off the drive to Mike Evans on Jalen Ramsey to get it down to the 2-yard line. Thank you. And you tell me that's terrible? Are you kidding me?
Skip.
And Skip, but that was in the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We got a second half also.
Yeah, thank you.
I give you this.
My job in the first half, I'm done. It doesn't work like that.
In the third quarter, your guys tore Tom Brady apart. He took some serious Drew Brees-style punishment in the third quarter. And I'm the first to admit, he got a little happy-footed in the fourth quarter because you do. I mean, don't you have that guy named Aaron Donald? Don't I always hear about how he's the best player in pro football?
He is great. And the thing is, he makes everybody around him great. One thing when you look at our defense, I got to say that Jalen Ramsey, when I look at those pass interferences, both guys are pushing. It's always, and I'm an offensive player, but sometimes you have to say, look, come on, man. Both of them are pushing.
Yeah, play through it.
You just can't call it. You got to let them play football. But Jalen Ramsey, Shannon, you call the guy got some dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
He has dog in him.
He does.
Makes our defensive secondary that much better.
Yep.
I mean, he really does. Then you got Aaron Donald up front. You got Floyd. I mean, all the guys are playing very, very good football, aggressive football. And what they did to Tom Brady, I told you this last week. I said, no quarterback. I don't care if it's Tom Brady, whoever they go, Joe Montana. It doesn't make a difference. Russell Wilson. None of them like to be hit.
Mm-mm.
You hit them enough. You put enough pressure on them. You get in their face enough.
Eric.
After a while, you rattle them.
Jared Goff does not like to get hit. And if you beat him up early, what did he do at Miami? He turned it over 4 times in the first half. They never touched him last night. Todd Bowles with his creative blitzes, nobody got home.
But Ed, help me understand this, Ed. Now, you and I, we've been trying to talk about Coach Belichick and the influence that he had on Tom Brady. But when it comes to those Super Bowls, Skip Bayless don't want to mention anything about his defense. Now he says Tampa doesn't have any defense because Tom Brady looked bad last night. He talked about, the offensive line. You never see the problem that I have with people when they critique Tom. They never give people credit. When they win, it's only Tom. But when they lose, it was the defense fault. The offensive line didn't block.
Okay.
The running back can't run.
Well,
don't do that.
Give me an answer for this one. What did Tom do maybe best in his years at New England? He'd find the safety valve. He'd flip it to little James White and he'd get 20 yards.
Yes.
Last night, he flipped it 4 times to Leonard Fournette, and he dropped 3 of them right in his hands.
Skip.
Well, you're out. You got no shot.
ED.
What's left?
ED. The Rams did not take ED Well, I think he was the second pick of the draft. He was the second pick of the draft, ED. They didn't draft ED to throw him swing passes. They drafted ED to hand him the ball. Leonard Fournette got drafted to run the football. He's not a pass catcher. He can catch, but he's not James White out of the backfield.
Hey, he tiptoes to the line of scrimmage like nobody I've ever seen.
That's a different argument.
Tiptoes.
That's a different argument, ED.
I mean, come on.
Hey, when I got to say that really, when I think about, I go to the Super Bowl when we played the Patriots. I got to say, Bill Belichick, he outcoached Sean McVay. He really did. And last night, Sean McVay outcoached Bruce Arians last night. You saw it. Look, neither one of us could run the football. But you know how running the football, those little dump down passes,
yes.
those little passes they threw.
The jailbreak screen, yeah.
Right, those little quick screens. That's how you run with the Robert Woods, the Cooper Kupp. You hit them short and let them take it for long runs. Sometimes you just can't run the football out the backfield. We tried to run a tight end sweep. It did. We picked up about 4 or 5 yards. Both teams on running the football, you wasn't going to run on either one of those teams last night. So you had to come up with creative ways. And one thing about Bruce Arians is when it comes to his offense, he's real stubborn about it. He said, we